Buddy, we're back for week 2. Really excited to be here with you. My name's Patrick Muley. I am a health coach, life coach, personal trainer, and I work with men who are divorced, looking to get their health back on track and their lives back on track after the aftermath of a breakup or divorce. I'm here with my good friend James Williams, who is a certified high performance coach, and we do a lot of the same things but different things too. We have a lot of parallels and things in common. James and I met several months ago and decided to collaborate and try to go live every week for you guys and bring some value. And we're here today to talk about and build upon our last week's talk a little bit. We're here to talk about quick fix versus sustainable lifestyle change and what that looks like in both of our fields. Some of the hopefully uncover some of the myths and some of the truths of that, and things to look out for as you're uh, getting on the path and starting your journey to a better life.
Yeah, it's a great topic. Everyone wants a quick fix, and you can't download an app for everything and make it happen.
Absolutely. So I'm curious. Where do you want to start off with this, James? We're kind of riffing off one each other. It's not overly. We didn't want to make this overly structured. We just want to kind of bounce off some ideas and just kind of wing it a little bit.
Let's start with some of the biggest challenges that we see that you know people want a quick fix for rather than a sustainable choice. And like in your industry, it's health and longevity, and you know but alongside that is mindset. And in my industry it's similar, but it's a lot of behavioral stuff, right? With what I do, I work with leaders and business owners and often teams to perform at a higher level, which really just means to be intentional with your decisions. And I had some great conversations today, and we touched upon this idea of uh, the similarities between faith and fear, right, in the decisions that we make. And that the similarity is that both faith and fear require believing in something that you can't see. So why choose fear? And often when people want a quick fix, it's because they fear that the process is going to be too hard, that if it doesn't happen quickly, then it's not going to happen.
Mm.
Fear doesn't always look like running away. Sometimes fear is the quick rip the band-aid off choice that they think's better, right? And rather than an understanding of, like you said, a choice that no matter how long it takes, equals a lifetime change. It equals a chapter 2 change, as we talked about last time. It
Yeah,
really means that you're committing to something forever, rather than the lie that we tell ourselves that it's not important enough to spend a lot of time on, which is a fear-based
that's great. And
decision.
I want to, if you don't mind, I'd love to talk to that for one quick second because it was one of the things I had in my notes was this idea of, and that could, like I said, that could give you faith or it can propose fear, right? So the two ways you can look at that is right, and when one's the glass half full, glass half empty mentality. So on one hand, you think, oh, geez, like if I'm thinking about this is a decision I'm making forever, this is a big decision, right? And that could be like this is it could bring up the all or nothing mentality. It could be like, oh my god, this is like going to be so much more work than it that really. No, what I recommend is looking at is like, man, like I don't have to do this and do all this in the next month or two. Okay, I have this time. Like if you're in your 30s or 40s, I have the next 50, hopefully 60 years to refine this and get this right. So sometimes I kind of look at it as this kind of like maybe should relax you a little bit and say, okay, like this doesn't have to be quick, this doesn't have to be intense, this can be just methodical and intentional and more of the whole idea. There's a reason why we say slow and steady wins the race, right? um so I love that perspective that time could just time is on our side.
For sure, yeah,
Right.
it is a perspective, and also that. the idea that you're afraid of committing to something for the rest of your life is interesting, because currently, up until now, you've been committing to the way you've been living your life anyway.
Yeah.
So you're always committing
Yeah,
to how
you're
you
always
live life,
committing,
always.
exactly. Like, all that
So
time has gone by, you've had certain habits
right.
that
And
have
if there's
shaped
something
you.
in your life that you're not happy with, if you're feeling unhealthy or sluggish, or you're feeling stressed, or your things aren't working out at work, or the dreams that you have that intellectually you can achieve, but you just feel unconfident to achieve them. Currently, you're doing things to create feeling like that. So the fact that you get to make a decision to live a way that's going to help you not feel like that, and instead feel great and feel confident and feel healthy and feel energized, and you get to do that forever, that's great.
Well, that's it, and exactly what you just said is huge, and I teach this to my clients, is the not focusing on what you're losing, but focus on what you're getting, so and when, like, in my world, like, when we start doing that, instead of, like, you work with somebody, instead of, looking at that, you can maybe look at their diet and what they're eating on a regular basis and say, okay, we need to cut this out, cut this out, cut this out, and cut that out. That's not where you start. Let's start adding in the good stuff, right? So, like you said, people might have, when you're working with people, issues around confidence and motivation and all these other things, right? Well, let's start doing the things. Let's start adding in some things that are going to help you build that confidence, build that motivation, because it's action that creates that. You don't just wake up one day and feel motivated, right? It's the
No.
action that you do on a regular basis. So it's like when you force yourself to do something that's uncomfortable and you do it and you survive it, you just reinforce the belief that you can do it now. And
Hmm.
that in of itself is usually what motivates you. So, like, adding in good food, it helps your body feel, like, it helps you start to feel better, right? So you start to get that result. Okay, wow, I'm getting in some good stuff. I feel better. I feel more energy, more sustainable energy. Um, and that tends to drown out the stuff that you want to drop and you want to get rid of. You want to stop doing or
Hmm.
eating, whatever, right? So it naturally is crowding it out, right? I mean, when you want to buy a new couch, right? You bring the old couch, get rid of the old couch, bring the new one in. You don't have both of them in your living room, so one tends to crowd out the other. So it's like, what can we add in that's good? Let's start there.
What do you think, in your industry? What do you think? What is one real challenge that you see your clients having that makes them gravitate towards a quick fix rather than commit to a lifestyle change?
Yeah, it's a great question. It usually comes down to time, right? it's I need to do this quick because I don't have a lot of time, right? So I have to do this as efficiently as possible, right?
Mm.
So it's finding the perfect diet, the perfect workout, the perfect everything, right? Um, and that's the mentality that traps you. That, again, it's the same idea that this is not, it's that choice that you talked about, right? It's that choice. Am I going to do that? Like, do I need to change and just commit that I'm going to live differently? I'm going to learn how to do it, even if I don't know how to do it now. I'm going to learn how to do it differently and look at the long term process
Hmm.
versus having this mentality that I have to get this done and then there's an end point, right? Like, okay, I'm going to do this boot camp and I'm going to do this diet that's designed for this 30 days, 60 days, whatever.
Hmm.
Okay. And then at the end of that, I'm going to be done. Right?
Yeah.
Like you're finished. But what inevitably ends up happening is you do that and you could get great results. And believe me, there's lots of programs out there that will help you, lose weight, lose fat, and build muscle and recomposition your body.
Guess what happens?
But then at the end of it, yeah, exactly. At the end of it, once it ends, unless there's a deeper why, unless there's, a more, futuristic goal, long-term goal, you're left sitting there going, no, now what do I do?
Right, and it all goes back to the way it was. So Stephen Covey in Seven Habits talks about this, right? This idea of efficiency and effectiveness, and that efficiency is this idea that, to be productive in a goal, it's about how much we can get done in a short period of time.
Yeah.
right? And that's how a lot of people live their lives. They think, I just going to get as much as I can done in a short period of time. But effectiveness, if you want this to be effective, is actually understanding the priorities, right? And understanding that it's focusing on quality and impact rather than just quantity. And impact is, I want to feel better forever and I want to, you know, have the energy forever.
Mhm.
But if we're so focused on getting stuff done, busy work all the time in all areas of our life, nothing gets the attention it deserves. So really, the impact of the change of perspective isn't just, say, in your industry. It's not just about people being healthier and happier. It's about, well, if I actually really looked at what's important to my long term vision, to the way I want to live my life, there's going to be a ton of things I'm going to take out, and I'm going to have loads more time. Because I
Mhm.
guarantee you, people, if you measured the ROI of how you spend your time and what you think about, you're going to realize there's a lot of things you do and think that give you nothing back,
Mhm.
but
Yeah, no.
let you do them and you
Yeah,
think them.
exactly. No, it's so true. Um, so true. So, you know, with that said, like, I just wanna speak to some of the, like, the myths too around this, okay? Because like you do, yeah, when people decide like, "Okay, I need to change something," right? They start focusing on all the things that they need to give up, right? Versus what they could be adding in. So, some of the myths, like in my world, are people think that they all of a sudden they just need to start eating salads every day, boiled chicken, steamed broccoli, plain everything. I can't season anything. Okay. And listen, there's protocols to do that. Like if you're looking to be a bodybuilder or a shape athlete, or you're going to go on stage and put, like, yeah, there's things you have to do that, right? But that's not what sustainable living is all. That's not really what sustainable health looks like. And I touched upon this really quickly in last week's call, where you know you have like this. How do I say it? Um, this period of time where you can do that to look like you see these before and after pictures is what I'm referring to. Like you see these people that are obese and all of a sudden they're really ripped, right? They had to really restrict their diet to do that, right? And that was like after what I just spoke to. I did a program with her. It was 2 months, 3 months, you know, and they were able to achieve that. But now they need something more sustainable, right? So, and the problem is with that, and I like to use this analogy, is that most oftentimes we'll go back. I'd like to see what they look like in a year from now, 2 years from now, right? After that novelty is worn off and they've achieved that. I like to use the analogy of like a really cold, like glass you just took out of the freezer and you dropped it in a pot of boiling water, right? What normally happens? It's going to crack, right? And that's a lot of times what happens. People can grind out that type of lifestyle for a few months, but then they inevitably hit a wall.
Hmm.
I've done it. I've been there. So I'm speaking from truth, not from my opinion, but it's actually from personal experience where it's like you're just like left with now what? Like where you're measuring your food, you're weighing your food, you're tracking all
It's
your
not a happy existence.
no, it's not happy at all. And even people that are in competitions and do that, a lot of them struggle with actual um, you know, depression and issues from it. There's a term in our industry called orthorexia, right? It's the over obsession of food. So where you're eating everything for the strict purpose of looking aesthetically good,
Yeah.
right? And it's actually in the category of um, you know uh, an eating disorder. So this could work in reverse where you could look amazing, great. You could feel amazing, be in the best shape, but you're over fixated on it. Okay. And that's what we want
And
to try.
it causes you to be unhealthy. I've been there too. Like you don't feel good, right? And that's unfortunately the world where we live in is very surface level. It puts importance on how you look, right?
Exactly.
And this turns into a conversation of the difference between a symptom and a cause, right? That people that are really happy and healthy, one of the symptoms of that is that they look good, right?
Hmm.
But people that you see that are unhappy, yet they seem to be ripped, right? Sure, there's a symptom of out on the outside how they look, right? but there's also some symptoms on the inside that you don't see, which is why they're unhappy, right? Ultimately, the cause of both of those things is perspective, right?
Exactly.
It's their perspective of the people that just happen to have a result of looking great on the outside. They might not be bodybuilders, but they look healthy like you do, right? And like I do, look healthy, in good shape. It's a result of a sustainable way of living. So you
Mhm.
don't even have to worry about whether you're going to look good on the beach to look good on the beach. You don't have to worry about it. Focus on how you want to feel every day,
Exactly.
right? I want to feel energized. I want to feel present. I don't want to feel groggy and foggy at 4 p.m. where I need a coffee and then I can't sleep at night. I want to be able to go the whole day without a coffee. I
Exactly.
want to be able to feel like consistent energy, not energize a bunny running around crazy, but just like this just nice flow where happiness comes to me easier, where when a problem hits me, I can respond to it in a really mature and creative way rather than it just sit
Exactly.
on me heavily, right? I don't think people understand how heavily your psychology is affected by the biological state of your body, right? Your brain in your gut, that's what your gut produces serotonin, right? Your gut will decide whether you're happy or not,
Yeah, it's
not
true.
what's happening in your life. I'm sure there are plenty of people listening that have maybe actually have on the outside very happy lives, but they can't feel it. They can't feel present with the things they know are wonderful because inside, they've not been treating themselves well. And inside, things are just not right, right? The gut is not right. They're
Yep.
feeling heavy, they're feeling unenergized, and they can't even enjoy your life,
Exactly.
And so sustainable living is you get to have a load of fun by eating food that you'll really enjoy, but just actually having some education, which is why, this is why Patrick's here to educate you on actually how you can eat food that tastes amazing and live a life that feels great and you don't really feel like you've compromised and you're happy and healthy and living a great life. Like it's totally possible.
Yeah. No, it's totally possible. And feeling good and being joyful and all those things, like you're saying, isn't synonymous with six pack abs. It's just feeling good inside your body, right? Feeling good about yourself, having a positive self image. I mean, it's hard to do when you're 100 pounds overweight, but you're dealing with physical things, you're dealing with emotional things. It doesn't mean you have to be at the opposite end of the spectrum too, and like completely look like a shape athlete to be happy. That's not the actual end goal in mind that makes you happy. Like the
Right.
inner, it's the psychological things and the emotional things that you're speaking to that makes you happy first, and allows your nervous system to relax and just do the things you need to do to be physically healthy too. But it
Mm.
but it comes with the mentality and emotional shift first, and relaxing.
Yeah, for sure. So, what
You know,
would you say is, to conclude on it, what would you say is a really great first step? Because for some people because if you're feeling low energy and you're overweight and the idea of a change can be overwhelming. It really can. It's like I'm just so tired and I'm barely hanging on as it is. The thought of learning a load of new stuff, buying new things, new types of food, learning to cook new, it can feel overwhelming. What's step one that isn't overwhelming? What's step one where they can start to sense a feel of feeling better, which gives them the energy to then commit.
yeah. Um, Step one, really, I mean, even when I work with people, like step one is let's figure out what you truly want for yourself. So it's not even the food or the exercise. Actually, step one,
Hmm.
uh, it's really determining what is important for you. Like, what do you want your life and health to look like? Like, it's it's creating that vision of the future healthier you and emotionally connecting with that,
Hmm.
and determining what it can do for your life. Like, what is this healthy lifestyle going to do? It's not the healthy lifestyle in itself that is the goal even necessarily. It's what's it going to do for my life? What's it going to allow me to
Right.
do?
What's the symptom of the healthy lifestyle?
Exactly. The symptom is essentially, you know, for a practical example, it's right now I get winded running around with my kids in the yard. I can't keep up with them, but I want to be able to, right? It's um, perhaps I want to be able to go hiking in the woods with my family. You know, it's the practical things that you want to be able to do in your life that maybe you can't do now, right? Those are things that are real goals.
Hmm.
Uh, it's what will this allow me to do? So it's really the first step is getting really real with yourself and sitting down and doing some contemplating and figure out what you want,
That's right.
and
Yeah. There's nothing more motivating than purpose, right? And it's the same in what I do, right? Step one,
have to have a
I've
purpose.
seen this theory is clarity, right? It's just like get clear.
It's get clear because I
When
say,
you can, when you have got that vision, it's the same with the business, right? When you have got a vision that's crystal clear to you about what could be, you energy is going to pop in there. I tell you, it's going to happen. You're going to have enough energy to get started when you can feel it, when you
yeah,
can really feel what is possible.
because I imagine your word, James, like, not, I mean, I know we were talking a lot about health in it, but it goes hand in hand. I mean, you work with people and they're not going to be high performers in their professional life, right? If
No.
they're not physically and
People
emotionally
are
healthy.
very focused. Like I said, people are very focused on um, quick fixes, like you said. They're really focused on okay, you know, you know, I want to really like. I've got a guy right now who's you know, could be ready for retirement, doesn't like the idea of retirement. So it's like, what do I do with, all this experience I've got, right? Where do I go? I don't really want to sit around and do nothing, but maybe that's what I do because I can. And so it's like a sense of being lost. And really, the beginning of any journey, when you ask for mentorship, is there's a bit of I don't know where to go. That's why the first step is let's figure it out because
Well, it should.
actually, if you think about anything you've achieved in your life that's been an achievement that you've coined as I achieved something, it has been hard. And the
Mhm.
only reason you were willing to put the effort in to create that was because you had a goal. You knew what you wanted to create. And a lot of us when we're young is I want a career. I want to earn my own money, have freedom, be able to have my own place, be able to have a car, right? We have a vision of a lifestyle that we want, which when you're young is freedom, right? Car, house,
Yeah,
apartment, whatever, right? Girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. You have a goal. That's why you work hard for it because you have a goal. And then somewhere along the line in life as an adult, especially, you don't think that way anymore. It's just get through the day.
yeah,
You wonder why you don't have the energy to change. It's not. It's actually the energy to change starts with purpose, not health. Health
exactly.
is going to get you to do more, but you got to start with getting clear as to what you want and why you want it and feel it. And then you think, oh wow, that would be kind of cool. Look, and then your brain goes thinking, listing all the things, how it's going to change your life, not just the people that you influence around your life, how you're going to feel, but the opportunities that are going to come to you.
They're going to open up.
They're going to
Exactly.
open up, right? And it's such an ROI. It's like, you know, if you understood the ROI you get, you pay Patrick what you pay him to help you create this, and the ROI is 10, 20x in your life, right? Because that much more is available to you. It's a no-brainer. Like the future you would be screaming at your door saying, "Do it! Why wouldn't you do it? I'm so much happier and healthier than I was before." So we've
Yeah,
got to really figure out why do we dig our heels in at this beginning, right? Because when you understand that and you get clarity around it and what you want, man, it's the best journey you'll ever go on in your life. Whether it's a health journey or whether it's a high performance, whether it's your business, whatever it is, right? We do the same thing. We both help people get clear on the possibility of improving something in your life that you have agency over, that you have control over, to make everything better, right?
yeah, exactly. It's so important. But yeah, that's I think it speaks to both of what we do is that purpose is the biggest thing because
Mhm.
when you inevitably fall on your face, right, and you fall off track, it's that purpose that's going to get you back
For sure.
on
Yeah.
track. The biggest mistake I see people make is they think that the peripheral stuff around them is going to motivate them. Like, okay, I'm going to get ready. I'm going to get healthy, right? I'm going to go find the perfect meal program. I'm going to go find the perfect workout. I'm going to go buy the treadmill. I'm going to go buy the bands. I'm going to get my workout clothes, right? And then buy all this stuff. It shows up, and it's like,
What next?
well, wait, what next? I never focused on the purpose of all this, right?
Hmm.
So all those tools and everything, they end up usually in the junk drawer, or the
Or they just get dusty, right? It's those
so
things are great, but you need
yeah,
to know why, and you need to know how to
yeah, yeah.
to
You
to
do need to
maximize
find the
that,
student.
right? How to be effective,
Exactly.
right?
And
How
that's
to
why
be
we're
effective.
and the biggest thing too, as I see, people lack in. And this is where James and I come in, shameless plug for what we do, is accountability, right? It's huge. Like, think about how much more you accomplish when you have someone on a regular basis holding you accountable, right? Helping you set goals, helping you stay connected to your bigger why, stay connecting to your purpose, right? Because we tend to go off track, and it's like, if no one's kind of watching and helping, a lot of times we can just not show up
For
for
sure, yeah.
ourselves.
No one's an island, right? None of us have to do anything alone.
No,
And those that, you know, do live fulfilling, successful lives, they didn't get there on their own,
no,
right? They surrounded themselves by or sought out people to be on their team, right?
exactly.
Whether it's a health coach, a fitness coach, an accountant, right? They hire people
Yeah,
that know more and are better at what they do to help them be successful. And the
exactly.
people that are conscious about that life team of people that support them in the areas that are going to help their life, they're the people that live the life that is possible for everyone, right? And I think that when you realize you're not alone, we're not on our own, we are not islands, we are
No,
all connected for a reason. We're all here to lift each other up, and we're all here to use our expertise to better ourselves, right? And that's what it's all about.
exactly. Well, I hope everybody got some value out of this, and gained a little bit of clarity and perspective around, um, you know, the quick fix mentality versus sustainable life change. If anybody is looking to take their life to the next level, their health, their businesses, we're the guys that can help you. Love to hear from you. Love your questions. Please throw some comments in there, throw some questions, anything we can support you on. That's what we're here for. We're going to continue to do this on a weekly basis, and I hope to bring you some more value. Anything you want to close with, James?
Do you know what? One thing I just close with is a lot of people don't understand how to even start with purpose. And so here's a little takeaway for you. Who have I got to be to do what? So that follow that recipe, and that starts to help
Love
you think about purpose. And
love that.
like Patrick said, any questions, and you can post questions under the video as well.
Exactly. So love to hear from you, and we will catch you guys next week.
See you later.
Take care.